I'm sorry.
So here's the thing. I'm just gonna do this for everyone who's here right now. They did not use the updated SCP of 166. They used the one that was a bit controversial in the past with its nickname and what it was. So so yes. Alright. Anyways, the next one is SCP-166, aka the Teenage Succubus. Alright. Item SCP-166, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-166 can be kept safely in a minimal security environment as of redacted. SCP-166 is housed in a Standard Class B suite at Site-17. With the following alterations. Say what again, Sanju? Or are you typing it, Jerry? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Teenage Succubus. Yeah. It's now, instead of just a Teenage Succubus, now just a Teenage Gaia. It was changed.
Teenage Gaia makes more sense, and it's really weird to call her succubus, especially since at no point was she ever designed like that. She's always literally been a child at a sort of age where would she be considered a teen or a tween? Because she was around that age. So not even a full teen. Okay. Sorry.
You're fine. Anyways, the adjacent suite has been redesignated into a local observation post. Translucent acrylic panels have been placed in the approach corridor and staging area to prevent direct line of sight into the containment suite from an exterior hallway. Warning signs have been placed throughout the containment area indicating that no male personnel are permitted in the area. Reasonable requests of personal items and modifications to the containment suite may be granted upon approval of level 4 or higher authority. Today, SCP-166 has requested a copy of the Holy Bible, Dewey Ram's Kohanor revision, granted, a Catholic rosary, granted, access to a Catholic priest for confession, mass, and other sacraments, denied, various books and magazines, mostly religious in nature, granted pending review and approval of contents, a telephone and with which to contact the abbess of the redacted covenant of the in Cornwall, England, granted 166 is allowed 1 hour of telephone time a week to this phone number 1. SCP-166 is generally content to remain in her quarters as long as she is provided with entertainment in the form of religious materials, books, television, and art supplies. In return for her cooperation and her own confinement, 166 is to be allowed a 12-hour excursion away from Site-17 to an adjacent and uninhabited island no more than once per month. Limited Release Protocol 19-A is to be observed in these cases, with the added restriction that no male personnel are to be allowed within 500 meters of 166 during transport, and no male personnel are to be allowed on the island during her stay. As even the lightest clothing tends to cause pressure ulcers, aka bed sores, within 45 minutes of constant wear, 166 is allowed to go nude for medical purposes. Garments and bed linens are to be made long, stable cotton and should be changed weekly. Male staff are forbidden from viewing or entertaining the direct vicinity of 166. Violation of this order will result in immediate disciplinary review and possible termination. At least one female staff member must remain in adjacent observation room at all times and maintain direct visual observation of 166 through the viewing slits or closed circuit television. In order to minimize the risk of an accidental exposure, all cameras and windows shall be equipped with translucent filters with at least 50% exclusion of detail. No permanent record shall be kept of any photographic evidence of 166's appearance. 166 requires no sustenance, save approximately 1 cc of human semen. Oh my god. Administered orally on a weekly basis. Now I remember why he was changed. Oh god.
There were quite a few things changed about this.
Yeah.
Considering how old she is, this is so bad.
Yes.
This is so bad.
Now remember, the content farm chose to do the old version when, by the time they made a video, before they made a video, the new version was out. So, yes. Arrangements have been made with the local sperm bank for this purpose. On-site procurement will be carried out in emergencies only, despite the fact that 166 requires no other sustenance. The subject can consume normal human food and does do so. Due to 166's many health issues, medical evaluations should be carried out at least once per week. Description: SCP-166 appears to be a female human in her late teens, of average height and slender build. Medical and sociological analysis indicates several deviations from baseline human norms, including accelerated hair growth, approximately 20 centimeters per month, vulnerability to airborne particulate matter such as cigarette smoke and aerosols, which can include symptoms similar to an acute asthma attack, increased sensitivity to pressure ulcers, and alterations in dietary requirements. 166 is noted for her unusual effect on human males. Upon establishing visual contact with 166, 100% of human males tested attempted immediate sexual contact, regardless of their normal sexual orientation, and approximately 70% of the test subjects' impulse faded after being removed from 166's presence. In 30% of these cases, however, the desire turned into obsession, resulting in violent attempts to gain access to 166. Class A amnestics were efficacious in 43% of these cases. The remainder required termination.
I'm just going to comment. I can totally see why this was changed so much, because the original was so bad.
Yes.
I feel like I probably blocked out the original version. Oh my goodness.
SCP-166 effects on males causes no small amount of distress, not at least due to her desire to follow a monastic life based on the principles of chastity, poverty, and obedience. For this reason and others, contact between her and any human male is strictly prohibited. This one deals of author's barely disguised fetish. That is still a good explanation, Sanju, for certain SCPs that have yet to be rewritten. Henceforth, I believe the number is SCP-1007, Factory Porn. I'm not going into detail with that SCP. It's... no. Anyways. I might get a number wrong, so quote me on the number. But yeah, alright. Anyways. Addendum 166-A, circumstances of retrieval. 166 was originally retrieved from a convent in Cornwall, England, on redacted. According to the nuns, she had originally been delivered to the convent by a person of indistinguishable features, and claimed that she was the offspring of an elder creature of great power, and provided instructions for her care. All attempts to locate the mother have been unsuccessful to date. 166 was raised by the nuns in a cloistered environment until a young man, Subject A, who sneaked in the Covenant to visit one of the novices, accidentally caught sight of her. 3 days later, Subject A became violent and attacked the Covenant. Attempting to gain access to 166, Subject A proceeded to kill 1 nun and severely injured 3 others before being neutralized by force. A Foundation operative consulting with a local priest regarding an unrelated matter heard of the incident and proceeded to the scene. When he too became enamored, the operative immediately cut off contact, placing himself into confinement, and requested a female operative from command to take over the retrieval operation. Agent Beatrice Maddox made contact with Mother Abbess shortly afterward, negotiating the transfer of 166 to Foundation facilities for containment and research. Addendum 166-E. Text of a letter, origin unknown, placed in 166 suite on redacted. Dear Redacted. Dear Redacted. I first met your mother when she was a girl. She had hooves for feet and starlight in her eyes. She was a beauty in nature. And I killed her with my own 2 hands. Eden isn't a place, it's a state of being. They wanted to take us back to it. I stopped them. I took paradise away from us for the 2nd time. I have never regretted my actions on that day except one. That when you first met me on that day, you saw your father put a bullet in the head of your mother. I make no excuses, only an explanation. I hope you understand why I did what I did. I hope you forgive me. I love you. I wish I could have done more for you. The best I could do was leave you in the hands of kind and loving people in hopes they would raise you in my place. And what I've seen, they did well. I'm sorry you couldn't stay with them. I'm sorry they've brought you to this place. I promise to do my best to make sure you stay here is present. I promise to keep you safe. Happy 16th birthday, honey. Your father, Redacted. Now, as you can see here, she's 16 years old. And seeing how this SCP is heavily sexualizing a 16-year-old, you can see why it was rewritten, and why the fuck did the content farm redo this SCP of this when it was not changed. Why?
Man, I'm not sure why I remembered her as 13 or 12, but that's still really bad.
It's still minor, so yeah. Oh my god. This one's gonna be fun.
Oh, let's just hope they be tasteful about. Let's hope it doesn't get too bad. We don't want to. I don't want to have to mark this really down because I know they're a content farm, but this is a bad subject to fuck up.
The thumbnail doesn't help.
What? Oh no.
The thumbnail doesn't help.
They give her an adult body. That's not the body of a 16-year-old. They gave her the body of an adult in the face of someone younger than 16? Oh gosh. Oh, poor.
I'm just gonna say this now. I highly understand. This is for YouTube in the future. If you guys want to click off the video, I understand. Even if clicking off the stream too, I understand for the time being. Because they're going to butcher this in the worst way imaginable.
When this releases on YouTube, will you censor every part that's inappropriate?
Maybe.
I think you'll have to. Think of what might happen to your channel.
Depends on how bad it gets. Yeah, they put original version. Which means they knew about the new version, but they chose to do an original. Is everyone ready?
Sure.
In 3, 2, 1.
The young woman was sitting on a chair in a room all alone. This is how she had spent most of her days since coming to live at the convent. The convent was located in a remote part of Cornwall in southern England. The only people she ever saw were the nuns who looked after her. They were good people, and they had treated her well since her arrival. She had told the abbess of the convent that she wished to repent her sins. She wanted to see a priest in order to make her confession. That morning, the nun bringing her breakfast had told her that today she was going to have a visitor. She had told her that a priest would be coming to see her in order for her to make her confession. She sat in her room waiting patiently for him to arrive. It seemed like an eternity before she eventually heard the door open. One of the nuns stood in the doorway. She turned to the priest who was standing behind her. "Here she is, Father," she said. The priest looked at the young woman. Suddenly, he put his hands over his eyes and started shouting, "No, no, get me out of here now!" The nun pulled the priest out of the room. The young woman could still hear him as he left the building. He was crying as though he was agonizing over something or someone. She was worried. What had happened to the priest? Why did he react like that when he saw her? She was thinking about what had gone wrong when she suddenly felt eyes on her. She looked at the window to her room. It was completely covered with men's faces. They seemed to be fighting with each other to get a better view of her. Each one pushing the other out of the way. It seemed like they were clamoring to get closer to her.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to SCP.
They already made it really bad.
There's no way this will get marked good.
And this fucker's probably happy about it, because look at this fucker right now. You're proud of what you did, aren't you, you son of a bitch? Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
Exposed. Today we bring you Euclid class subject SCP-166. But before I go on, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on any more SCP stories. SCP-166 appears to be a female human approximately 19 years of age. She is of
That is incorrect. She is... So, they're getting away with it because they aged her up to 19. She is 16.
Yeah, aging her up just shows you know you're bad.
Yeah, nowhere on here to say... It's only mentioned where her age is right here at the bottom. She is 16.
I think on the racism, sexism thing, we need to mark that a 4 right now. Because they literally aged her up after showing that scene. They know what they're doing. You need to mark that a 4.
Yeah, I guess I'm marking 4 right now. Citizens of Town are gonna get away with making her do sexual shit.
You know, I don't go with that. Remember what happened when that one, content farm changed the doorman to not having skin? Like, there we go. Now we're not being racist against the brown man. Does the super racist against brown man shit. Oh my gosh. Oh! When you are a content farm, or anything for that matter, if you purposely change a detail that's obvious that you're changing in order to get away with the bigotry as much as possible, the bad things you know you're not supposed to do, it shows everyone you know you're not supposed to do it, and that's why you're diving deep into it by putting this very thin sheet over it, going, not guilty.
3, 2, 1.
Height and slender build. Medical and physiological analysis indicates several deviations from baseline human norms, including accelerated hair growth, approximately 20 centimeters per month. She has a vulnerability to airborne particulate matter such as cigarette smoke and aerosols, both of which can induce symptoms similar to an acute asthma attack. As even the lightest clothing tends to cause pressure ulcers or bed sores within 45 minutes of constant wear, she is allowed to go nude for medical purposes. Garments and bed linens are to be made of long,
Are they
staple
literally
cotton
showing
and should be
her
changed
as a
weekly.
16-year-old after the thumbnail and
Yes.
calling her not? They know what they're I hate them. I'm sorry, I hate them.
Is he good?
Yeah.
3, 2.
Weekly. Due to SCP-166's many health issues, medical evaluations should be carried out at least once per week. Although it seems like she doesn't need human food to survive, she is able to consume it and does willingly. SCP-166 is noted for
Oh,
her
God.
unusual effect upon human males.
Why would
Upon
it not
establishing-
seem like she should be able to eat?
Granted, it was mentioned that she doesn't need to eat, except for that one amount of human semen, but she does normally consume human food. She requires no other sustenance. The subject can't consume normal human food and do so. So that is in the article.
It's literally in the article as she needs to eat, but only the thing that a 16-year-old should never eat.
Yes.
So it never questions she needs to eat. They just find it weird that a girl that looks like a human wants to eat like a human.
Yep.
Not making them look better.
Visual contact with her, 100% of human males tested attempted immediate sexual contact, regardless of their normal sexual orientation.
My God.
They immediately go to showing someone trying to do the bad touch.
It never got that close.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking now we have to do added violence. The hell, there were so many SCPs they could add violence, but they do it with her.
I'm trying to see where. It shouldn't even. Yeah, it never mentioned him getting anywhere close to her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It talked about them, like, wanting to go close to her, but not that they got close to her.
Yeah, they put well enough guards, most likely female guards, or robotic
Oh,
guards.
definitely female or robot.
And that would actually be that would actually be kind of interesting thought. Like, with this SCP, like the old version, if a robot that was designed as male, would it also have to fall under the same effects, or would it be immune?
It would not fall under the same effects because it's technically not male in the biological sense, because it's not biological.
Yeah.
If it's not biological, it will not be treated as biological. It is Robot Man.
Yeah.
It does not have the thing the pervert expected her to need. And yes, I'm calling the original creator a pervert. I don't know who originally made it, but pervert.
It's unknown.
I stand by what I said.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1.
In approximately 70% of these test subjects, the impulse faded after being removed from her presence. In 30% of these cases, however, the desire turned into obsession, resulting in violent attempts to gain access to
Don't tell me they're doing
SCP-166.
that percentage
Class
with the
A
one
amnestic.
black man. Well, you know what? We already put offensiveness at 4, but
Yeah, there he is. I didn't see that at first till you said something. I was like, wait, did they? Oh, yeah, they did.
yeah, the one that's more obsessive and violent, they made specifically to be the black man.
Oh, hi.
So,
Reload clips. Oh, hey, Hatchet. Yeah, I
Hey,
sent them.
Hatchet!
I sent Hatchet what they did with the original 166. Yeah, they made her 19, but in the document right at the bottom,
They say she's 16.
yeah.
Also, it's very obvious they said she was 16 so they could try to sexualize and dehumanize her as much as possible. So, let's just say it got so offensiveness even before racism popped up that we already pre-marked it at 4, and then they added the racism.
66.
Oh wait, hold on.
Also, they've added a bit of violence.
I was shown what happened earlier. Yeah, they did this. It was
In the
not mentioned.
article, she's never actually attacked by a D class. But in here,
in the original article?
yeah, he was
That's
never
what we
attacked
read.
by a D class in the original article. They were always kept away by guards.
I never read the original article. Let's just say I'm glad it was changed.
I'm also glad it was changed.
Yeah. I sent that because I thought you would just send me a message back like, what the fuck? I didn't expect to drag you back here.
Also, they
Like,
have been drawing her like she's 16 despite the fact that they called her 19. So they know her real age.
well, the main reason I pop back in is I'm told something out of context
Ah.
when I don't know what's
Oh.
going on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And besides that, like, what is
Go
it?
rest up, Hatchet.
So, for starters, what do you mean by they're drawing her like she's 16?
The body development.
There's plenty of adults that have less bodily development. What matters to me is I don't know. I've been very fixated on recent pushes towards censorship. So language that makes me that sounds like it could lead into censorship talk gets my brain wet.
In this case, it's less censorship and more like, while the file was iffy from the start, they added details that were not in the file that makes it worse, a lot worse.
I get you.
And they changed things from that to try to get away with it, changing those details.
Okay, so hold on. 253. Yeah, they also did this, where she was just in the room and a bunch of guys just peering, trying to get in.
Yeah, she was clothed when they were all looking over obsessively. All of them trying to break in to get to her.
Yeah.
That was the opening.
Yeah, I'm just
That's fair. I didn't mean to drag you here.
I'm sorry, Hatchet.
Yeah.
no, it's fine. I'm just
You're free to go back and rest. You can get all the rest you need.
oh, you see that's the thing, like I'm in this I'm in this state where, since we started this, I had been wanting to be involved with this particular SCP,
Ah.
Oh,
but on the night when it's coming up, my brain is like this. So, like, a large part of me is very intent on staying and doing what I can, while the
all
other
right.
part of me wants to just fuck off.
Alright.
I think we're both fine with that, as long as you can handle it. But
Yeah.
I will say, as you've heard, they've gotten very iffy with it. They've changed details and added things that weren't in there that makes it more aggressive and more violent and towards someone who can't defend herself.
I guess the other issue is just that I don't remember the article well enough to properly comment on it. So, like, if I was to just stay,
Alright.
it needs to be restored. So I'm just gonna. Y'all know my general positions on stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm generally very wary of, shall we say, media analysis tendencies that are commonly utilized by censorious organizations and people. This is a part of why I wanted to be here, but I just don't have it in me. So
we understand.
Yeah, we understand. Magic. I almost called you Jerry for a second.
Very
am
different
Jerry.
people.
I am Jerry now.
you're,
I
You're-
have so many Huns.
yeah, you're Jerry, and Jerry is Jerry too.
But yeah, I'm just I'm very hesitant, generally speaking, around like ideas that like any given specific body type is this age body type when there's so much variance
That's
in
fair.
people. Because like when I start hearing stuff like that, I'm immediately reminded of examples of people calling actual women like, shall we say, predator bait, because they express themselves how they want to.
Hatchet. When I'm talking the way her body is developed, I'm talking about like stereotypical how developed a 16-year-old is.
Yeah.
And adding that with how they're making her face look. If she had like a total flat chest, but if she had a mature face on her, then I would think she was an adult, but she doesn't. She has a baby face.
Well, yeah, and there's plenty of adults with baby faces. The
That's
like
actually fair.
the person I'm thinking of is literally like I think like 4 or 5 with a fairly babyish looking face, but she's like a gym gal that has occasionally done cosplays, and because she has a very petite body type, she's constantly inundated with people basically saying that because she has that body type, she shouldn't be sexual in any way, shape, or form.
That makes no sense.
Which is why I'm very hesitant around making broad descriptors like that, because of just how diverse humans are.
Yeah. That's
Granted, like, stereotypes are stereotypes, which is fair. I'm very hesitant to make those sorts of criticisms because of that sort of stuff that I've seen. If that makes sense.
fair.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that just put me off in the video was that they changed her age from 16 to 19.
Yeah. Like, and like, conceptually, I guess that's the thing. It's like conceptually, I could understand, like, shall we say, in fan art, aging up a character to do something more risque with them in a manner that an artist is more comfortable with. But this isn't posing itself as like alternate fan art. This is acting as if they're actually relaying the factual information of the SCP.
Yeah.
They changed her age in a video explaining about her and sexualized her a lot more.
Yeah.
When
Which is like, yeah, I basically I'm trying to temper my hesitancy with my intent to still criticize this sort of thing, while also having a headache, so I can't properly formulate my thoughts.
Yeah, that's completely fine.
But yeah, like half of the reason why I poked my head back in is just like, this is one of those SCPs that I want to be included.
So are you gonna stay here for the rest of the video and then leave?
No, I think I will just pop off.
Okay.
I thought I'd at least pop in and give those 2 cents as like something I would be adding if I was staying all the way. I'm just so sorry for interruption.
You're fine.
Have a good night, y'all.
Yeah, me too.
Good night, Hatchet.
Anyways, let's continue the video.
Normal sexual orientation. In approximately 70% of these test subjects, the impulse faded after being removed from her presence. In 30% of these cases, however, the desire turned into obsession, resulting in violent attempts to gain access to SCP-166. Class A amnestics were efficacious in 43% of these cases. The remainder required termination. Her effect on males causes her no small amount of distress, not least due to her desire to follow a monastic life based on the principles of chastity, poverty, and obedience. For this reason, and others, contact between her and any human male is strictly prohibited. SCP-166 can be kept safely in a minimal security environment. At the moment, she is being housed in a standard Class B suite at Site-17, with the following alterations. The adjacent suite has been redesignated into a local observation post. Translucent acrylic panels have been placed in the approach corridor and staging area to prevent direct line of sight into the containment suite from the exterior hallway. Warning signs have been placed throughout the containment area indicating that no male personnel are permitted in the area. Male staff are forbidden from viewing or entering the direct vicinity of SCP-166. Violation of this order will result in immediate disciplinary review and possible termination. At least one female staff member must remain in an adjacent observation room at all times and maintain direct visual observation of
Couldn't they at least try to learn how to
SCP-166
draw
through
women?
No.
Okay.
Also, this is what they're looking through. This small little rectangle.
Well, if I remember, the cameras get destroyed by degradation pretty fast if they try that.
I think that's just a teenage Gaia.
Oh. The
Yeah.
version doesn't have that?
No.
Oh.
So yeah, they can have cameras with original.
viewing slits or closed-circuit television. In order to minimize the risk of accidental exposure, all cameras and windows shall be equipped with translucent filters with at least 50% exclusion of detail.
Yeah.
No permanent record shall be kept of any photographic evidence of SCP-166's appearance. Reasonable requests for personal items and modifications to the containment suite may be granted upon approval by a Level 4 or higher authority. To date, she has requested a copy of the Holy Bible, the Douay Rheims Challoner revision. This was granted. A Catholic rosary, which was also granted. Access to a Catholic priest for confession, mass, and other sacraments, which was denied. various books and magazines, mostly religious in nature. This request has been granted pending a review and approval of contents. A telephone with which to contact the abbess of a convent in Cornwall, England. This has been granted. She is to be allowed 1 hour of telephone time a week to this phone number only. SCP-166 is generally content to remain in her quarters as long as she is provided with entertainment in the form of religious materials, books, television, and art supplies. In return for her cooperation in her own confinement, she is to be allowed a 12-hour excursion away from Site-17 to an adjacent uninhabited island, no more than once per month. Limited Release Protocol 19-A is to be observed in these cases, with the added restriction that no male personnel are to be allowed within 500 meters of SCP-166 during transport, and no male personnel are to be allowed on the island during her stay. The Foundation originally retrieved SCP-166 from a convent in Cornwall, England. According to the nuns, she had originally been delivered to the convent by a person of indistinguishable features who claimed that she was the offspring of an elder creature of great power, and provided instructions for her care. All attempts to locate the mother have been unsuccessful to date. SCP-166 was raised.
In the original, didn't they acknowledge that the mother was dead?
Yeah. She did.
Raised by the nuns in a cloistered environment until a young man, Subject A, who sneaked into the convent to visit one of the novices, accidentally caught sight of her. 3 days later, Subject A became violent and attacked the convent, attempting to gain access to SCP-166. Subject A proceeded to kill one nun and severely injure 3 others before being neutralized by force. A Foundation operative consulting with a local priest regarding an unrelated matter heard of the incident and proceeded to the scene. When he too became enamored, the operative immediately cut off contact, placed himself into confinement, and requested a female operative from command to take over the retrieval operation. Agent Beatrice Maddox made contact with the Mother Abbess shortly afterward, negotiating the transfer of SCP-166 to Foundation facilities for containment and research. The following is the text of a letter found in her suite, the origin of which is unknown. Dear daughter, I first met your mother when she was a girl. She had hooves for feet and starlight in her eyes. She was beautiful and natural, and I killed her with my own 2 hands. Eden isn't a place, it's a state of being. They wanted to take us back to it, but I stopped them. I took paradise away from us for a second time. I have never regretted my actions on that day, except one, that when you first met me on that day, you saw your father put a bullet into the head of your mother. I make no excuses, only explanations. I hope you understand why I did what I did. I hope
They
you
gave
forgive
her
me.
the same bill
I love you.
as her daughter, but they also called her a girl, not a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
I wish I could have done more for you. The best I could do was leave you in the hands of kind and loving people and hope they would raise you in my place.
He was an
From what I've
infant when
seen,
you
they
okay.
Also, it's very well known who her father is. Even in the old version, it's the same father. Dr. Otto
Yeah.
Clef.
Okay.
Let's see if they even show Otto Clef.
They don't need to show Clef, but they at least have to acknowledge she was left there as a fucking baby. Her mom was dead. Where would she have been before?
Alright. 3, 2, 1.
did well. I'm sorry you couldn't stay with them. I'm sorry they brought you to this place. I promise to do my best.
Alright. Good night, Sanju.
Good night,
no
Sanju.
promises.
To make sure your stay here is pleasant.
I'll have
I
caramel
promise
later.
to keep you safe. Happy 16th birthday, honey.
Motherfucker! It's the show is not in the video, but keep the 16th birthday!
Yep, they called her 19 and then they put happy 16th birthday. I
Yes.
think they're trying to make it sound like that she's 19 now, but at the time that she was handed the letter, she was 16.
Even though that was not stated in the article.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
signed, Your Father. The Foundation personnel have conducted much investigation into the whereabouts of the parents of the subject. To this date, they have been unable to determine any specific information.
No, they know exactly who the dad is.
Yeah, they know who the dad is.
Acting like it's a fucking mystery.
Also, I've seen how usually you want to end things around this time, so I'm guessing this is the last SCP of the night.
You know what? Yes. I was fine for one more, but I think they made suffering too bad. Okay, deviates from the plot. Would you say that's a 3 or a 2?
Dude, they did keep a lot of original stuff, but they did change some things.
There's more than some things. That's why I was saying 3 or 2. It's not a 4. They kept some small things, but they changed a lot. They made it so instead of like testing if they'll charge for her or not, if they'll be attracted or not, they had her almost get assaulted. They changed her to 19 and then started having her get way more attention.
Mm-hmm.
They okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's
I can see it as
So-
a 3. Yeah.
I'm not arguing for or 3. I'm just saying why I don't think it's 1.
Yeah. So, removal of character / license.
They removed at least one character, which I wouldn't have minded if they didn't have Clef in, but I do mind that they literally went out there to say he's not. They don't know who the dad is.
Yeah, I also forgot what that link your father leads to, and it's a very disturbing story. To those who don't know what that your father goes to right here, it goes to Dr. Alto Clef's suicide note.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. So, just one.
Yeah, just one because they did everything else right on there.
Altered such gore violence.
They added violence, but it's not really a lot of violence, but they added violence. An unusual, it's probably a 2.
Yeah, I can see it's 2. It's not like
Not a
exceeding
3,
into 3
not a
or
4,
4.
but yeah. Huh?
I was agreeing with you.
Okay.
Alright, let me add this shit up. It's gonna be way lower than 55%.
You know what? At least altered or added gore is a 2 and not a 4. At least deviates from the plot of the article is a 3 and not a 4. And that's the only upsides. At least they only removed one character.
I was right.